when this is over, you can spread the word, so we'll have a house tonight. A couple of housekeeping rules. We are going to start in seconds, but we're asking that you hold your questions to the end. Now, and most of us have some gray hair, so if you've got a little gray, you might think of a question, and then 30 seconds later it's gone. I mean, if that doesn't happen to you guys, then you're fortunate, but it happens to me all the time. So write it down. And then at the end, we'll ask for anyone who has questions to come up, and we'll have a mic up here. And if it's inconvenient for you to walk up, then I will come to you with questions. We ask that you limit your questions to a minute so that we can get responses. So, and I am Dr. Jannett Bradford. I will be facilitating this morning. That just means I'm going to try to keep this to a minute. I'm not doing anything. But our guest speaker this morning is Mr. Terry Landreth, who is the chair of the PSA board. And I'm going to ask him to tell you a little bit about himself, as much as little as he wants, and then he will go into his presentation.
Hey, thank you folks for letting me be here today. Hey, come on in, come on in. All right, let me do a little checking here. I got to double check. Mike. I got the high sign on that side. Thank you guys for letting me be here this morning. And I just love Camden County, and we have so much rich history here. We have a lot of great things going on here. But I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a volunteer on the Camden County Public Service Authority. I want to introduce June. I saw June in the back. June, raise your hand. June's one of our members. Steve Hahn over here is one of our members of the Camden County Public Service Authority. We have a lot of things going on over there. We think it's important. We think our parks and recreation for our Camden County is very, very important. So I have been in the outdoor recreation business for over 20 years now. I served 22 years on active duty. My last duty station was out here in Kings Bay. So I'm a submarine sailor. Started out on aircraft carriers and ended up on submarines. This is a great transition, okay? Great way to go. I typically have a lectern, but it's okay. It's all right. Do I need this? No, you can't hear it. I got it. Okay, I got it. Go to Masquerade Ball at the rec center the other day? No? Nobody did that? Anybody been to the ballroom dancing at the rec center? I just wanted to start it off to tell you there's a lot of things going on at the rec center. There's lots and lots of things. So we're going to get into that. I want to tell you a little bit about myself so you know where my direction's at. I truly believe in parks. I truly believe in parks and recreation and trails and greenways and those kind of things there. So as we start off that way, but the opportunity to come and engage with the roundtable, I think, is super important. And that's the only way that the rec center, the park service, is going to know the needs of the community. And today, Debbie, raise your hand. Debbie has a survey for you. Before the end of you leave today, I need this survey filled out. I don't need your name or address or anything like that. We just like it by zip code, just by zip code. Simple little survey. If you would do that for me, I really appreciate it. Steve, raise your hand. Steve is the collecting point. Okay. And it's all volunteer. If you want to turn it in, you turn it in. Okay. Come on in. Got some folks coming in. My family and I, we own Camden Bicycle Center and appreciate you guys always supporting us as a small business in the community. Yeah, fine and safe. Yeah. Good. You're good. We got more. That's good. That's good. Good. There we go. Just making sure. Okay, good. We're fine. Good deal. All right. No, you're good. Thank you for coming. There's always things going on in Camden County, like the roundtable this morning. There's other groups meeting around the community this morning also. I feel like this is important. I wanted to be here. There's other things going on. In about 40 minutes, my wife will be making deliveries down to Cumberland Island for services that we do on Cumberland Island. So we're always busy with Cumberland Island, things like that. At this time, we're going to have a public service announcement from Debbie.
I'm the treasurer of the Camden Cycling Club, and you folks may or may not know that one of our big events is happening this Saturday, November 4th. We have about 150 bicycles lined up. We always have room for 151 if you want to join us. And if you are unable to join us, we just would like to give you a heads up that there will be probably bicyclists in the area. So if you're driving, if you kind of watch out for them. And we hope to see you out there. We appreciate the community support, and that's our mission.
Hey, Debbie, how many years has this event been going on?
This is our 9th
Daniel?
It's the Three Rivers ride. There's rides for everybody. There's a 30-mile ride. There's a 40-mile ride. There's a 60-mile ride. There's a 100-mile ride. And for those of you who just like to tour around, we have a 10-mile family fun ride for just $10. And so if you're looking for something to do Saturday morning, come on down to the waterfront.
Starts there. Hey, are you going to visit any of the parks on this ride?
Absolutely. There'll be a rest stop at Crooked River. It starts in Gilman Park. We're not visiting, we're actually camped out there. And we'll be going to Crooked River. We'll be going to the park, and the boat ramp at Woodbine is also one of the rest stops. So, bicycle riders come from not only Camden County, a lot from North Florida, all around Georgia. They put it on their calendars early. We're always the first Saturday in November. We definitely like to showcase our county because it's a beautiful place.
Okay, thank you very much. Just wanted to, yes, ma'am.
Not right now.
Yeah, let me wait until the end. I'm sorry.
At the end of the event, you have
Yeah.
information to share, we'll be glad to do it.
Okay.
We have a long presentation.
Yeah.
It's only fair to everyone for Terry to get that out there.
Yeah.
We'll go through a Q&A, and if you have something to offer, I'll be glad to give you that time. Terry, you
All
got
right,
the
good.
floor.
Thank you very much, Tom. Okay, good. And thank you once again, the volunteers from the Camden Roundtable and everybody putting this together, and just the simple organization of the room and everything else that goes on. Those are important things also, so we can be comfortable in those things. Just so you know, I believe in the power of parks. I believe in the power of trails and greenways. Recreation is hugely important. I hope that today that part of the things that I talk about, it will influence you to get out and visit one of our parks. And that's why I had Debbie do that. Our parks are so important, and they can touch every life in Camden County in such an important way. As we do that and we look at our county, and sometimes we get busy, we just don't do this. We get focused on other things. We just sort of, we don't think about it. But, we have a national park here in our community, Cumberland Island National Park. We have a state park, one of the prettiest 500-acre state parks in Georgia, Crooked River State Park. Just down the street, we also have John McIntosh Historical Sugar Mill Tabby Ruin Site, which is incredible if you study the history of that park right there. It actually is really, really well maintained also, and it gets a few visitors, but the historical value of that park is so much of Camden County, it's incredible. And so if you talk to me about parks, I want more. You talk to me about trails and greenways, I want more. You talk to me about ball fields, soccer fields, I want more. You want to ask me a great investment? Parks and greenways. Tell our story through parks. Tell our stories. Get our kids out there. It's parks are super, super important. How about one of our newest parks? It's a wildlife management area of 26,000 acres. You know what's available to you? It's all yours. You can walk out there today. 26,000 acres that hugs the Satilla River, goes up around the Crooked River, and it is available to you to drive up and see it and walk and explore it right now. It's not part of the Camden County PSA, but it's part of our community and the things that we do. We don't send crews out there to take care of it. It's all part of the state, but it's all yours. It's all yours. It was all formed up through a grant called the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Grant, and we'll talk about grants a bit later on. But those kind of things are important. They come through there. If I say Gum Branch Nature Preserve, raise your hand if you know about it. Raise your hand. Good, 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 good. Gum Branch Nature Preserve. Actually, the disc golf is in there. That is actually where the disc golf is at. If you know that we have a disc golf course, raise your hand. Okay? If you played disc golf, raise your hand. Okay? Your son plays with it, okay? Isn't it a great place that you can play disc golf, you can walk your puppies, and you can still go for a nature walk also? It is super low maintenance, but it's really high value inside there. So when we talk about parks like that, we'll circle back around to Gum Branch Nature Preserve too, and we'll talk about that. It is located behind Howard Peoples Park. It's a 300-acre parcel of land that is deed restricted for passive recreation, bird watching, disc golf, hiking trails, walking trails. So we'll talk more about that later. Right behind it, parks are part of our history also. We have a Howard Gilman Park downtown, but we also have a history walk downtown too. Anybody know what year we were settled? What year we were claimed to be a county, a community? 1777. Yeah, it was like 1777. And there's landmarks. We were actually early explorers were 1560. John Ribault explored the St. Mary's River up through here. And so our waterways were transportation elements inside there. So those waterways, every place somebody landed, every place somebody had an opportunity to engage with Camden County, we should have a park right there telling our historical spots right there. John McIntosh Sugar Mill Tabby Ruins, that's a historical spot. It is a park today, very popular with our local photographers. The McIntosh Ruin Tabby site is an incredible backdrop for photographers. They love it. And so if there's a waterway that had a landing on it, it should tell that story. Charleston took advantage of that years ago with Charlestown Landing. And so their Charlestown Landing is a park that now open to the public that tells that story. Our parks are important for our history also. The property that's a 26,000 acres known as Ceylon, which is the wildlife management area, there was two communities known as Upper Ceylon and Lower Ceylon. Anybody ever heard of them? Right. I know it's almost a lost part of our history there also. So we need to kind of engage with that. Parks gives us the opportunity to do that in a real simple way. A simple sign that marks it goes there. The other part of our network here in Camden County, our history started with our roadways and our railroads. We have some abandoned railroads in Camden County. I brought one of the signs over here that identifies an abandoned railroad. In Camden County, going all the way up the coast, there's actually 68 miles of abandoned railroad. 20 plus miles in Camden County. Anybody know what a rail trail is? Everybody familiar with that term? Rail trail. Super high value, super easy. They become known as linear parks. Linear parks. Where's one of the prettiest linear parks in Camden County? Woodbine Riverwalk. Woodbine Riverwalk is a former abandoned railroad. Who knows the name of the railroad that ran through it? Silver. I'm sorry? It was Seaboard, but the name actually was a passenger railroad service known as the Silver Meteor. And I've actually met people that were on the Silver Meteor. The Silver Meteor still runs today. Run through White Oak, Waverly, Woodbine. And those were incredible historical spots that now we should have parks on to tell our story, tell our history inside there also. I just wanted to, kind of lay a little bit of a groundwork to tell you where I feel about parks and greenways. And so this is kind of my heart for telling our story, where we live at. I now have grandchildren that I get to take to the park. And I think it's so important to tell the history of the park also. For towns and cities that have a great park networks, they are highly desirable to live, work, and play. We have to protect our parks. We have to build new parks. We have to continue to tell our story for parks inside there. And I hope you have some ideas for parks where they should be at. Maybe there's something that we haven't thought about or those kind of things there. So get those ideas for that inside there. Like I said, I've been in the outdoor recreation business for more than 20 years now with my store in the state of Georgia. We're about, in the outdoor recreation business, and that's everything from fly fishing to hunting to water sports to biking to walking. It's it's like a $13 billion industry. About 140,000 employees in our industry. Parks are good for the economy. Parks are good for the economy. There's more people use that park downtown St. Mary's for different events every day. They're good for the economy. They do things that are more than just tell our history. River State Park, how many visitors annually? 200,000.
I was gonna say 100,000 is something.
Yeah, 200,000. 200,000. Cumberland Island, number of visitors?
Oh, gosh. That was, no.
Cumberland Island is limited by law
Yeah, they are limited.
to 300 people a day. 300 people a day.
So you multiply that.
Yeah. So about 60,000 annually is allowed to go to Cumberland Island. But what does it support? Just those 60,000 people coming in today between the shops, they rent bikes from me. So the shops, the camping gear, the restaurants, the park, everything that happens inside there, those are part of the economy that drives forward. And also those folks that come to Crooked River. Anybody have any idea how many RV parks we have in town?
One.
RV parks? There's at least 7. 7.
I was adding them up.
I know. And they capture part of the outdoor industry. And those folks that are in RV parks are outdoor enthusiasts. And outdoor enthusiasts, you give them one more thing to do. One more chance to go visit Cumberland Island. One more chance to go visit Crooked River State Park. One more chance to go see the John McIntosh ruins. One more chance to go outside and explore the disc golf course or play disc golf. That adds to your economy and a multiplier that's tough sometimes to put right there, but it really does work. I'm fortunate because I get a chance to see it in a real way because I own a store that people come by and see me a lot. More trails, more green space. Hey, and so just a couple of little things, just make sure if I say park, you may have a picture in your mind also. Somebody else in the room is going to have a picture of somebody playing a baseball game or soccer. That's perfect. Absolutely fine. If I say the word greenway, anybody understand what I mean by a greenway? Greenway. Alternative transportation route, linear, like up in Woodbine. The thing in Woodbine, though, yes, ma'am. Oh, Samantha, yeah, good. I'm glad you're here, Miss Samantha. So up in Woodbine, it's a rail trail. A rail trail is pretty unique because there must have been a former railroad. So if your community has an abandoned railroad, then they can have a rail trail inside there. Miss Samantha Young, who takes care of the rail trail up in Woodbine?
PSA handles some of it, and
Yep.
we fill in, my guys fill in.
Right. Yeah. So it's an important park. It's actually one of our largest parks in Camden County. It's over 4 miles in a linear fashion. In a linear fashion, that park is. So as it goes down through there. But it adds to the economy. It adds to the vibrancy of Woodbine and those kind of things there. I'll tell you a short story. There's a lady that lived down at Liza Rudolph, and when we did that lower section down there of Liza Rudolph, we communicated with every neighborhood down there before they did that last section of Liza Rudolph. Everybody know where the Liza Rudolph community is? Okay. That's another look up if you haven't seen it yet. Liza Rudolph community has a trailhead right there. It's an important part of Camden County. She was a school teacher, if I'm not mistaken. Miss Liza Rudolph was. And so this lady told me from down in the Liza Rudolph section, she goes, I'm so happy for this trail because I can ride my 3-wheeler to the post office and get my mail. Now you see what that park did for that person. So that park is different for my grandson. That park that he goes and plays baseball in is different for that, but parks touch people. So you ask me about more parks? More parks. I'm voting for more parks. I believe every neighborhood should be connected to a close park also. I believe our development community should be very close in that also. They should have parks available for their communities, neighborhood type parks, regional parks, mini parks. Steve and I often talk about passive parks and active parks. They're different. So we have to have a distinction in between there. Every park needs a certain amount of funding to keep it going, to keep it nice, and keep it maintained. But those kind of things are important also. More parks. they should all be within walking distance. There's actually a national endeavor. It's called walkpark.org, and it's a national endeavor of mayors to put their communities within a 10-minute walk of any park from your house. A difficulty that we have in Camden County is you have to drive to most of our parks. That's tough. That's tough. And we create conflict there on those high use parks also. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I put a little side note here for me also. Whenever we do parks, greenways, rail trails, whenever we do any type of linear type parks, I fully believe they should connect to our school systems. We have 9 elementary schools in our community. Those kids should be able to walk or ride their bike to school with mom. What's our most popular school for kids to walk to? Any idea? Crooked River. Crooked River Elementary School. The most bike ride. How many bike racks are there? You ever notice? We added 2 more in the last couple of years. There's about 7 bike racks there. The Gilman, when the paper was here, they put about 6 out there. Or there's 7, 6, 8, 6 or 8 out there. There's a lot. They're all full. Why are they full? You know? The base has a separate trail that takes the kids. They can walk and they can ride from the housing, and they are conflict avoidant. They do not engage with the parents dropping off kids. They do not engage with bus traffic. The principal of Crooked River Elementary School holds the key to the base. She's got a key to unlock that gate and let the kids come in. And you have more kids ride when you give them opportunities. You have more moms and dads who get out and walk with their kids to school. It's a traffic jam on that pathway going into that school every morning. We could duplicate that again and again and again. We don't have to have all this. And you know what I do. Nobody wants to see a kid in an accident. Nobody. This shouldn't happen. But we have a lot of traffic around our schools that could be avoided. All right, fun thing. We're going to move on. Trying to move here. No, I didn't mean to, John.
That's rule number 1.
I didn't mean to. There's a button over there.
That's supposed to be somebody laughing. Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. Don't forget you got all these things.
Which one? Okay, got it. Okay, good. Thanks. All right. So, football. If you haven't had a good time lately, I want you to go watch a Pee Wee football game. All right? Go to one of our parks and watch a Pee Wee football game. A little bit more of that. No better investment than our parks. No better investment. I have a great desire to see our parks improve. I want the maintenance to be raised. I want the staffing to be educated. I want our parks to be rated as some of the highest value items that we have in our community. And they should be. We have been compared to other counties with that. As I hold this up, this is our master plan. This takes us from 2022 to 2032. This is very engaging, okay? And it is very revealing. The team that came in that we hired is called Los Design. They actually, and I'll tell you this, when I'm on the chairman and if I'm on the PSA board, this will not sit on the shelf, okay? It will not sit on the shelf, and you see my markings inside there. I go through this almost every week for something that was going on. This master plan gives us direction. It gives us information from the local community. It gives us wise ways to spend our dollars. It gives us information on how to move forward with more employees to satisfy those needs that we have out there. It's a master plan that is well done. You're welcome to view it. It's on our website. It is absolutely a wealth of information. But it'll shock you a little bit too, okay? They were pretty brutal. When they examined some of our facilities and parks, they were pretty brutal. So we have some hard things to do. We have to get lined up. One of the things it does for us too, it classifies our parks, which is pretty cool. Classifies park like a mini park. If it says a mini park, that's less than 5 acres. If it says a neighborhood park, 5 acres to 22 acres. If it says a community park, 20 acres to 75 acres. I didn't know people had these bigger parks like this. The Crooked River State Park is 500 acres. A regional park, 50 to 250 acres. We have one park that has a multitude of activities going there, known as our rec center and that facility right there. But we don't have a lot of parks that are, number one, they're not connected. They're not connected. You got to drive to it. You got to drive to it. They're not connected. Okay? That's a tough one. Number two, we cause a lot of traffic congestions when we have things going on. Howard Peoples Park right around the corner here. That's our Howard Peoples Park is our most active park. Is just a kind of a walk-up type park. It is the most active. Baseball, t-ball, disc golf is right there. Pickleball is right there. Basketball courts are there. We have continued to push things inside there, but it's very, very active. And that shows a need, a glaring need. You don't want to drive down Gross Road when there's a baseball game going on there. It is a traffic jam all day long. But that is a glaring way to see it. I put down some statistics also about our parks and greenways. Let's go to our PSA slide here just for a second. All right, so that's our facility. Everybody's familiar with that facility, that building? And you may turn the lights off, Tom, because that may show up a little bit better. PSA was formed up in 1991, got on the road about 1993. This facility has been well used. It is used to the point of today. About 1,000 people every day open those doors. About 1,000 people every day walk in and out of that building. And if I actually had the staff pull together some activities that go on inside there that you may not know about. Obviously, we have a gym facility in there. We have a weight room in there. We have aerobics classes in there. We have a polling location in there. We vote inside there. We have a Christchurch Camden, started in the community room for over 2 years inside there. We inoculated or vaccinated 12,000 people inside that building during COVID. Yeah, it was. It was a vaccination center. It's actually the location if there's an emergency around the community, such as a fire or flood. It's an evacuation center also for the north end. We do that. We recently had, actually it was a year ago this month, there was a fire up at exit 29 in Brunswick, but it smoked all the way through here, so we evacuated people at the north end to come there. And, just a simple location to have a safe spot to go. We have competitive cheer. We have gymnastics classes there. Our Stingrays, our swim team works there. We have racquetball courts there. Special steps. Anybody know what that is? Special steps. Not silver sneakers. Special steps.
For kids with
So once again, just responding to a need, the staff of the Camden County, we had a parent in town who came to us with the Chamber of Commerce and said, "Hey, can we just get a spot where we can have an activity for some of the special needs folks in town?" Today's Thursday. Yeah, they're there today. Thursday morning is their day. That's why we're not over there. Okay, Thursday morning is their day. If you want to have your heart broken, go to one of their activities. At 30, 40 people there now. It's unbelievable. And it's all done with volunteers. Some of the staff have to get engaged for check in, check out, those kind of things there. But they do activities and they all do all sorts of things to help them engage. And it's that social connection that starts to work when you add a park facility with a person. It's that social connection. We've talked a little bit about the economics and how they drive economy, but that social connection is very, very important also. So inside that building, summer camp happens. Oh, my stars. Summer camp. We're the most popular summer camp in Camden County. And I don't have, Steve, do you remember the numbers we had this year? Summer camp? 90? 101 kids that participated in summer camp. Just inside the building there and all things there. Basketball camps, football camps, youth practice, cheer practice, coaches clinics. Every coach in this county must go through a clinic before they can participate with any of your kids or grandkids in any type of field events. They must go through a safety training program. We hold those classes inside there. Make a difference groups. I mean, it was uncanny once you sit back and thought about it of what was going on inside of that building. Now, the way that I broke this down Yeah. Here's one. Here's a good one. HR or the job fairs. Job fairs for TRF are held at that building. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Many job fairs are held there throughout the year, at least one a quarter. This is a pretty good one. Car seat safety inspection. Car seat safety inspection. Okay. And you're like, Terry, what are you talking about? So what's the average age of Camden County?
In the 30s, I think it is.
Are we 50? Are we 60? Are we 20? 32 years old. 32 years old. 32 years old is the average age of Camden County residents, okay? So all of us in this room are not normal, okay? We're above average, okay? We make the curve work, okay? So inside that, when you say that, you go like, wait a minute here. So it only makes sense that we have a location that child seats can be checked, and it's a great spot to do that in. So once again, works out well. So the way I divided this portion up, and go to the next slide. The next slide. We do a lot of things inside that building, but we have 8 separate departments inside the PSA, and those departments are made up of, I just have to get mine. The facilities, the athletics, the aquatics, the fitness, the gymnastics, the special programs, and senior center and the parks. So inside there, when I show you one of these pictures, it's going to line up one of our different type of funding mechanisms. So this is athletics. This is the kids playing basketball. Hey, everybody been to the rec center? Raise your hand if you have not been to the rec center. Okay, everybody's been to the rec center. You haven't been there. You got to go see the rec center. You got to go vote or get your child seat checked. Okay. We have a quilting class there. Okay. All right. So when we do these things also, the rec center plays a big part for our community. I want to expand out from the rec center. We do a lot of things under that roof right there. So it gets a lot of use inside there. But as I was dividing this out, part of our funding mechanism, you need to know where the dollars are going. That's where it comes down to. Where the dollars are going that are taxpayers' dollars, where they're going to, and how they're being used. So inside that, the next department is athletics. So if you've been in the rec center, you've been in the main room there, there's really only one basketball court inside there. It's got 4 basketball goals, but there's only one court. But we had 704 kids sign up for basketball this year. 704 kids for basketball. So where do you put 704 kids who want to play basketball? You turn them away? Or do you encourage them to bring their buddies and kids? You turn them away? No. You're not going to turn them away. We're going to figure it out. We're going to find a way to do it. We're going to use every elementary school, because we have 9 of them, and every elementary school's got a basketball court. So we're going to have our athletic director work with her very small staff and coaches and volunteers, and we're going to train them up, and then we're going to have a schedule that works so we can take those 700 kids and invite their friends, and then we're going to add all that up and then put them in 9 separate elementary schools all across our community. We're going to have more basketball. We're not going to have less. Kids want to play. We want to be socially interactive. We want to get some exercise. We want them to enjoy themselves. We're going to have more. Go to the next slide. That's good. That's good. That's more basketball. That's just a training camp for basketball. Go to the next slide. It's at our athletics department. Still staying in the athletics department. Our baseball and softball. These are numbers. These are not. This is not crossover. There's not 700 kids doing this, and then 6 of them are doing it. No, these are just. This is the season for basketball. Then all of a sudden, this is the next season. Next season. That's my grandson right there. You check him out. He's a left-handed catcher. Okay. He's one of 923. Okay. Like I say, he's one of 923 kids playing baseball or softball, baseball. Anybody want to count the number of baseball fields we have in the community? Okay, let's go to this one too. Let's go ahead and cross this one also. My little guy, go to the next slide. I'm proud of this next one too. That's my granddaughter. Okay. She's all. Yeah, get that arm. She's part of those 900 also that are playing. So she's a pitcher. Now she's not catching. He's not catching her. He's playing baseball. She's playing softball. If you could quickly count up on your hand how many baseball fields we have, Steve, you know right off the top? 5 that we can actually have games on that are ready to go at any time, ready to go for this. Okay. We have some outliers where they can practice. Okay. Some outlier fields where they can practice. Question comes back. So 900 or 923 kids who want to play sports. Do you turn the 924th one away, or do you find a way? You find a way. You find a way for 925. You find a way for 926. You hope for 1,000 next year too. You don't turn them away. Okay? It's a hard problem. It's a hard problem. More coaches, more parents, more parking, more grass, more seed, more fertilizer, more cutting, more everything, more everything. But do you turn a kid away? No. No, you don't turn them away. Yeah, I'm proud of her. Proud of both of them. Proud of both of them. Yeah. 923 playing baseball. Here's a difficult one also. 5 fields. These two right here, I have 7 grandkids, and I have 1 on the way next month, December the 8th. I'll have my number 8. Okay, so this is Chloe. Chloe's team wins the championship. She's one of the top players. She wants to go on to the next level, right? We can't host any type of regional tournaments here. We don't have the facilities. We don't have the parking. We don't have the restrooms. You know, we just don't have it. So you see, that's one of those things that our master plan is guiding us to accommodate that next level. Our age group is 32 years old in our community. 32 years old. We're doing things like car seat checks, okay, at the facility in the off season to accommodate those 900 going to 1,000 going to 1,500. I fully suspect we'll have 1,500. All right, so here's a little side note. We were doing the master plan, right? I was talking to the gentleman. His name is St. Pierre. I said, St. Pierre, you got to give me an indicator. You got to give me something that I can see, that I can touch, that I can feel, that tell me when to build the next baseball field. Tell me when to build the next soccer complex. Tell me what it is. What's that indicator? He goes, oh, yeah, I can show you. And I'm thinking, 9 elementary schools when they're packed to the gills, He goes, nope, that's not what to look at. I said, what? Because you're trying to anticipate, because if you know anything about Camden County, for the last several years, everybody's been telling us we're going to grow. Our numbers tell us we'll be at 55,000 in 2030. That's 7 years away. 55,000. We're about 52,000 right now, round numbers. So we're moving through that process there also. If those 32-year-olds are still having children, we're going to still have kids on the baseball field, on the soccer field, on there. So we're still going to have this. So, St. Pierre, I said, what's the indicator? What should we look for? Where can I go to find out? Pre-K. I said, pre-K? Look at your pre-K. Look at the pre-K across the county, the public and the private pre-K. Look at their capacity. That'll tell you your numbers. Those kids in pre-K today will be where Chloe's at. And then they'll be where Brock's at. And then they'll go on. It's a continuous cycle inside there. Go to the next slide. Yeah, go to that Pee Wee football. Gotta go see Pee Wee football. 536 kids playing Pee Wee football. 536. The 7th grade in the middle school picks up the players for football. We do everything from basically 6th grade and under. So 12U, we call it 12U down. 500. And I don't bring the numbers in from the middle schools and high schools, okay? These are just our numbers from the PSA, and these numbers are as of October 2023, okay? I just had them pull this report for me so I would have it fresh on today. 536. Along with that, go to the next slide. This is kind of cool. You can't hardly see that, but that's the cheer team also, okay? The cheerleaders. So these cheers, there's some small kids there too. That's their flow path. They want to go into the cheerleading. They want to go into gymnastics. They want to go that direction. Some of them want to go play softball and baseball too. So that's where that flow goes. It just keeps going. Go to the next one. This one is pretty cool though. This one is really cool. So this is a group of track stars. Track stars. We did take home under 14 last year. under 14 track stars for the state. We had like 3 or 4 that won state championships also. Yeah. How many kids you think are running track in our community? Not a crazy number. 109. 109. Not a crazy number. Not a crazy number. I don't know if you'll find a frown in that place, though. Okay? I don't know if you'll find a frown. And I guarantee you in the seats watching those kids is moms and dads and uncles and aunts and grandpa and grandpa. Okay? So it's just there. Next slide. Soccer. Anybody been to our soccer complex? Me and Steve visit out there. Where's the soccer complex? Anybody know? Kings Bay Road. Kings Bay Road. A few years ago, it used to be a par 3 golf course. It was bought up. It's about 16 acres out there, 12, 16 acres, something like that. Out there. It is run by a what we call a sports provider. The sports provider takes care of the coaches, the sign-ups, the registration, and we provide the fields. They provide us a stipend back from each player. How many players are playing soccer in Camden County? 600. 600. The coaches are taking care of them. You know, they're rolling out there. 600. Can we host a regional soccer event? We have a pitiful restroom out there, and I don't even want to tell you about the parking lot. I'll show it to you, though. I'll show it to you. Does that sort of paint a picture, though, for you of how the activity is, not only in the building, but outside the parks? But I want to focus this a little bit, too. We have about 28 or 26, 28 different facilities we take care of around the county, the PSA. But these activities are happening in a very close proximity to the rec center, Howard Peoples Park, you know, St. Mary. They're not spread out all over the community also. You want to get them regionally, you want to get them together. It makes more sense for travel. It makes more sense for accommodating, you know, moms and dads. If you got one youngster over there playing a game, you want another youngster over here. Lions Field over there. It's got 4 fields over there that are, or actually there's 4 diamonds back to back, and then there's a girls softball. There's 5 there. Oh my stars, it's so active over there. You don't want to go down North or South Grove when a ball game's going on. And you know, we flip that every night when ball games are going on. So you have the first 5 games going on, and then those games over, and then it's flipped. So in the parking lot, you got all the parents that showed up for the first game. They all have to leave to get the other group in. All your referees stay for all those games. They all stay. So it's not complicated. We need to do this. We need to keep our kids active. They're not getting a ton of extra activity. Remember, they're riding in a car going to school, except for Crooked River Elementary School. They're riding in a car. They're sitting in a classroom all day. Last Wednesday, I did St. Mary's Middle School 8th grade class. All 8th grade class from basically 7:30. We finished up like at 12:30, and they were just basically in the classroom. Boom, 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 every class. They didn't have any extra activity until late in the afternoon. They went and ate lunch, and they were zombies by the end of the class. When I was talking to them, and they were there, but they were just zombies. We got to get these kids outside. We got to get them there. Okay, that's athletics. The next one, partner. Oh yeah, this is a great one. This is our swim team, the Stingrays. About 45 folks are participating in the team. We got a great coach out there. Let me tell you, look at those white hats out there, right? Pretty cool, right? You know what I see? I see that pool is heated. I see the chlorine that goes in that pool. I see the staffing that takes to make that pool operate. And we cannot host a single aquatics event here. We can only train them and send them to Orlando or send them to Atlanta to go compete for us in Camden County. We need to host those things here. We need to host it here. When the facility was built 20, 30 years ago now, it was accommodating the population of our community then. We've grown probably by 20,000 since then, and we've continued to multiply. This group here are working hard every day inside the pool. That pool is heated, and it costs a lot of money to heat it. But we need to reward those youngsters with locations here they can be proud of, not just to play and practice, but host here also. So I'm all about going to the next level there too. Aquatics, next one, fitness training. Yeah, fitness classes. We have one classroom on the other side. That other side of the building, basically jam-packed. Had to move it out, and this is only one class inside that's the basketball facility, and we'll rotate that 3 or 4 times a day also. So it's just multiple use of those facilities. Next one. Weight room, pretty easy there. Next one. Now, this one is special. Okay. Now I'm going to, I don't always like to do this. I want to talk about dollars for a minute here. This is our gymnastics class. Gymnastics is 100% self-supporting. 100%. The coach on the far side here has been with the community for about 25 years. His name is Uric. He trains these kids, and he takes them to state events. He takes them, and they win. They're showing you first, second, and third place there with just that one group right there. If you've been in the back of the facility, if you haven't been, go take a look at the gymnastic facility in the back. It's a converted basketball facility back there. It's super tall. We added all the mats. We did everything for safety. They do competitive cheer. They do competitive gymnastics, and these are the youngsters, and I don't have the numbers that are participating here, but we have to, this hurts me. This really hurts me. We have to turn kids away for this program. We turn them away every day. There's just no room. So we don't have the room, and it becomes a safety issue. That's why it's a tight facility. It's a controlled environment. You have to have a lot of oversight for these youngsters to make sure they don't get hurt, those kind of things. So lots of participation, but we have to turn kids away on that one. So that's a tough one. That is a real tough one. But gymnastics is completely self-supporting. Then the next one is special programs. Flip it over. This is off the rockers. That's the same where we were doing the aerobics class a while ago, where they were practicing the football drills indoors, where we were doing all other classes for special programs, special steps. This is flipped once again, and that's off the rockers. And just so you know, these special programs, they're basically $0. We have a staff member. We have minimum engagement. You know, we have some things going on. But basically, they're $0. They even out across the board. Next one. Yes, ma'am.
Good what you're doing. And we have time for a Q&A session after.
All right, yeah, I got a few minutes. Next slide. That's the special programs. That's the disc golf course. I don't know how many members they have now. Next one. Pickleball. Anybody pickleball in here? Nobody pickleball? Pickleball. I know Fred is. Fred. Yep, Fred. How many participants in pickleball now? I don't know the number. 98 to 100. Okay. What's the demographics for pickleball? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. All right. Okay. That's okay. We're part of that curve. Okay. Pickleball is super exciting. We're glad to have the courts. All right. We need more. We need more courts. Okay. Next one. Lifeguards wanted. That's an advertisement. We had to have lifeguards. We move up around 90 part-time employees doing the summer class, and so lifeguards training. Next one. Ready, set, fun. Summer camp. Next one. Dodgeball this weekend, Saturday. Dodgeball. Cool. Next one. Ballroom dancing. Same floor, same facility, same parking lot, same restroom, same everything. Flip it. Next one. Sweetheart dance is coming up again in February 24. Next one. Easter egg hunt just happened. Next one. Trunk or treat just happened. Next one. Camden Olympics happened. Go. That's the senior center. That's the next part of our funding mechanism. That's up in Woodbine. We take care of the senior center up there. It's once again basically a zero. Okay, let's flip the next one now. I'll let you, Jeannie. No, you flip the next group of pictures. Those numbers surprise you? The number of kids playing ball? They surprise you? I hope they do. I hope they do. I hope they really do surprise you. I hope that it and I'm telling you, the time of the energy that's put in not only by the staff, but the volunteers, or the coaches, the moms bringing snacks, dads bringing snacks, the grandma who shows up, and I'm one of those grandma and granddads who show up. We don't have facilities that are can host outdoor events like this. We can host a cycling event coming up. We can host a dodgeball event, but we turn more stuff away than you know. Browntown, great little park up there, the little neighborhood park. These is considered a neighborhood park. Just wanted to show you through our master plan, and as we were graded, every one of our parks were graded. Every one of them were given a grade. They weren't great. They weren't great by no means. Okay. We have a staff of about 22 full-time equivalent employees. That's a tough one to do all these kind of things. Go to the next one. We have dog parks. Go to the next one. Charlie Easter. Anybody know where it is? Anybody know? It's called Charlie's Park. Miss Young, you know where it is? White Oak. White Oak. White Oak. Right there, White Oak. Yeah, it's called Charlie's Park, White Oak. It's just a little community spot that has a swing set. Go to the next one. Cornelius Jackson Memorial Park, downtown Woodbine. Highly used, rented quite often for different family events. I'll tell you a little short story about this park here. I'm a big fan. I do not know who Miss Cornelius Jackson is. I don't know who she is. I'm a big fan of this park, as all the parks. This one is has so much neighborhood engagement. It's uncanny. And you know what I'm saying by that? I mean, they just all take care of it themselves. Next one. Boat ramp at Harriet's Bluff. Next one. That's the Harriet's Bluff Park. Lots of room there. We got about 20 acres right there. We could do a lot of things with. Do some more stuff there. Next one. This is sorry, that's a tough picture there, but that's the Howard Peoples Park. That's the one we keep adding to, and it gets a lot of use. It gets a lot of things get tore up. I mean, those playground equipment out there, that's about $40,000 for one of those playground equipments. That slide is $5,000. Required to be there by, the National Park Recreation Service. Next one. Slides. Next one. Dog parks. This was one of the most popular ones up in Woodbine. We're glad to have more dog parks. We like dog parks. We do. We like them a lot. But next one. Anybody know? Lions Field. Pretty good picture there, isn't it? That one was remodeled back a dozen years ago. Look at the size of the park and look at the accommodations for the private vehicles. Okay? Just a minute. Now, the Miracle Field is back there too. You guys been to Miracle Field? Miracle Field is in the back. Skate park is in the back. Tennis courts are in the back. Okay? The walking track all the way around. Basketball court up here. And you can't see, but there's two practice pitching locations for the young pitchers right up here in the front end. All along the road is parking. All along the road. It is designated as parking. That's parking all through there. Public Works Department is over here for Kingsland. That whole lineup on the other side is parking. This is a nightmare. A nightmare for events. It is a nightmare. Go to the next one. St. Mary's Lake. Go to the next one. Aquatic Center. In the back is the Aquatic Center. We got two baseball fields back here. This is a poor design. I'm going to tell you, this is poorly designed because, number one, summertime, you got the Aquatic Center going on. In the very back, we've got two baseball fields back there. Can't get to them. In the front end, we've got a very nice pavilion to hold a birthday party or family events, but you can't get to it because of all the aquatic activity, which is not bad, so you have to use another one. So we have some reimagining to do on some of our parks also. Notice that how dominant the parking lot is and not the play structures. All of a sudden, your eye goes straight to the parking lot and trying to figure out how you're going to get there. Okay, next one. Oh, go back to that one. I got to show you this one too. Go back to that one. So in the back end back there, anybody know what's in the very back? Yeah, you're right there. Anybody know what's behind those woods back there? The railroad. The railroad is back there, and the railroad divides this park and the one in the back. And it would be so easy to get to this park if we had a trail network that would come across the railroad yard into here. We could eliminate a lot of different parking elements because the library is in the front end up here, okay? If you want to go read a book in the summer, you got to get through the swim class to go to read a book. Okay, sorry, go to the next one. The idea? Cool. Pretty cool. It's up on the north end. Not Mary Smart. Spring. Gosh. Maple Ford. I just dropped the name over there. Maple Ford. Yes, ma'am. Maple Ford. Baseball field, but we don't host games up there. We host practice up there. Okay. Go to the next one. Another facility, Notter's Pond. Yeah. Notter's Pond, that's we work with the police department, the St. Mary's Police Department holds their annual fishing tournament out there with the kids. Cops and bobbers. Cops and bobbers. Okay, do the next one. That's a good one. This is our soccer complex. This is our soccer complex. It does look big, doesn't it? Yeah. That's because we have a drone shot here. Okay. You have to look. If we've got 600 kids playing soccer, we've got cars, we need facilities out here. We need facilities like a restroom. We need facilities like a concession stand. We need to offset some prices out there for those things. This is a tough one to host on. Now, Jekyll Island has a world-class soccer complex. They're tough to compete with. Down in Jack's Beach, they have a world-class soccer complex. That's where our kids go up there for competition. They practice here. Okay, next one. Boat ramps at the Glenn County, Camden County line. Next one. Complex on the back side. This is where the library is at in St. Mary's. This is the park that's known as the St. Mary's Rec Park. This one has been reimagined where you see 2 diamonds right here. We now have 3 diamonds right there. The dog park is in the back, skate park. But you notice how common all these parks look? They're common parks. Now this one hosts a lot of youth baseball, youth softball, and this one also has in the center is the youth football. Okay? Remember how many kids are playing youth football? That's where most of them play at, right there. Right there. So if it's easy to get to. We've reimagined this park, but we've got high use and old facilities that we have to reimagine because we're not getting any more dirt right now. We just have to reimagine the way these are laid out from everything from somebody driving up with a golf cart, somebody riding a bicycle, somebody walking, somebody driving, or families that have to bring 2 and 3 cars because there are different activities going on. This park, once we reimagined, was the actual mode of transportation coming in because we had a lot of traffic doing a loop all the way around. So now there's only one entrance, and the whole section over here is all parking now. Okay, go to the next one. That's Sweetwater Park. Sweetwater Park. Anybody familiar? Everybody familiar? What's that spot back there? That green line back there. Anybody know? This is kind of cool. Hasn't happened since COVID. That green line is for cricket. There was a group that used to come up from Jacksonville quite often. It was their sport, and they would use that facility, and that is an official, I don't know what it's called, a cricket court. It's where the pitcher stands. Yeah, that's what it is right there. This park actually has access all the way out to the river, but it's not used hardly at all. So we need to. Yeah, this is one of those parks that the coaches are allowed to take Pee Wee football to and practice, and they can practice some baseball drills. They can do those kind of things there. So we schedule these out. Go next.
I know you're getting close. Can you sort of wrap up so we have time for Q&A?
Okay. By far, one of my favorite parks. I don't play youth Pee Wee football anymore. I don't play softball. I'll pitch with my kids, and I'll do some other things. But this is one of my favorites. This is the Sugar Mill Tabby Ruin site right here. Okay? If you haven't been there, please take the time to go there. Everybody know where it's located? Off of Spur 40. Okay? Next part. Next one. That's the structure as it stands. This is the largest standing tabby structure in the United States. Tabby. Next one. Spur 40. Off of Spur 40. Crossing the base. Boat ramp at next one. White Oak boat ramp. Go to the next one. This is a trail. Actually, it's a trail me and Fred worked on. Fred, this is the White Oak Trail. This is an abandoned 3.5 mile rail trail that runs through White Oak community, and it provides recreation opportunity. It is no baseball fields up there. It's simply a walking path, and you can ride your horse on it. You can ride your golf cart. But the cool thing about this one is this is a fishing bridge. This is a fishing combination of the fishing bridge right there. Go to the next one. Playground equipment all over the place, very similar. We try to stay with all the standards of inside there. Go to the next one. Lions Field inside there. Next one. St. Mary's Waterfront Park, another one we take care of. But, next one. Rail Trail, downtown Woodbine, next one. That's okay. That's the Liza Rudolph entrance there. I'll tell you a little short story about this one. So the Liza Rudolph entrance, that's a simple wood structure, isn't it? Wood structure is just an entrance into the part of that. The community is known as the Liza Rudolph community. It is really neat when you can have a park or something of a park that connects with the local community that they feel an extra sense of pride in. It really is a big deal. So this structure was actually assisted the build out by the Habitat for Humanity. Okay, they like to build stuff, and we needed this built. What you can't see is above this structure, we had a landscape architect come out and look, and I was asking her, what should the entranceway look like? What should we do here? And there's a community board over there that has some community information. It's a little weathered now. If you go up there, there's just a couple of sitting benches right here too. You know, those sitting benches help out with school buses. School buses, okay? Kids can go sit on the bench right there. School buses. But the other thing is, the landscape architect mimic the church that sits in the back of the community. And so the whole upper section there mimics that whole church inside there. So that connection piece is really, really, really valuable. Go to the next one. Laurel Island Parkway has a trail that goes up all the way down, 5 miles if you haven't been on it. 5 miles, that was ribbon cutting we did last year during COVID. We're a little bit closer than 6 feet right there. Okay. So the Laurel Island Parkway Trail, during the process of building the new expansion there, the 4 lanes on Laurel Island Parkway, this trail was added 10 foot wide on the north side, 5 foot wide on the south side. This is super accommodating. You can see how many people are piled up on that right there. It accommodates, it feels comfortable. The event this weekend will be using the trail. It goes all the way across the interstate and starts to connect inside there. Go to the next one. I think that's it. That's it. Huh? Well, now, Debbie, can you pass out the survey for me? Debbie's got a survey. There's no names on it. Just if a zip code is what we put on there. I have pens. You can wait. You can fill it out afterwards also. I would be glad to field some questions.
Okay, that's yours. So, could you come up, please? You weren't here when I gave just because I'm not going to let go of the mic, so you have to come up here to me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I noticed, I like some of the things you stated about looking for new locations, walking distance.
Yeah.
And, I grew up in the area.
Yes,
I
sir.
moved back after 30-some years. And one area that's been totally underrepresented and heavily populated is the East Kingsland, North Orange Evans Boulevard area.
I know what you're talking about.
And that's we got kids playing in the streets.
Yep.
And all of this. And so what is the PSA trying to do? I love all these beautiful things that we got going on,
Yep.
but that is one of the oldest communities in Camden County. And what are you guys doing about making it recreation facilities for those kids?
I know exactly what you're talking about, Mr. Jordan. I've been through there many times. I know exactly that location. That railroad track is tough, you know, as well as I do. That railroad there is a toughie. Inside of our master plan, and I don't have an exact answer for you. I'll tell you that right now. I don't have an exact answer. I'd love to be part of, you know, master plans and Camden County and Kingsland and St. Mary's comp plans. We have to be at the table. We have to be part of the voice that's talking about parks and recreation. We have to know where those needs are so we can make wise decisions. But inside of our master plan, one of the things we asked for was new recommendations of new parks. According to our population, according to our growth statistics of where we're growing at, and the data tells us that is one of the key locations. It's not on that exact parcel, but it's a target area for more parks and recreation. That park right there, I've got it right here. I'll show it to you. It's not a perfect answer, but I got to tell you, I know the needs there, and those folks are traveling to Lions Field and playing. I get it. We need some more over there. Once again, if I had, you know, a 10-minute walk to a park for kids to go play Frisbee or softball, I'm all for it. So we try to be that voice inside those comp plans and master plans, making sure we're there.
You got a question? Was that the Northwest Kingsland area?
That's Northwest Kingsland. That would be Northwest. Yeah, Northwest. Yes,
Northwest
sir.
Kingsland.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. That had been talked about before?
I know
A
that.
while back.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. If they're having comp plans or putting things together, we'll be there talking about it.
They talked about it, but
Yeah.
that had been done. You got to remember, those kids have to cross a major highway.
I
to
know
get
it.
to
A
those
major highway and a major railroad and everything else there. Yeah. I could see a linear park there personally too. Yes, sir.
Terry, will you talk about the proposal to move the all fields that are now owned by the PSA to the school system?
To the school system? Okay. So we're trying to make wise decisions with that. Okay. So number one, the one of the slides that was not there is in the parks is the Camden County football field. That is part of our park system, and it is a tough one, and it is high maintenance item. So when we engaged with the school systems board of education, they were in great conversation with us, and we needed to bring that facility, and it's not a done deal yet. We're still in conversation, trying to make wise decisions of which way to go, because I told you we have 1,000 people that show up to the rec center every day. So we've got to accommodate traffic. We got to accommodate everything that goes on there. But yeah, we're favoring transferring the football stadium to the Board of Education, and they can pick up with maintenance dollars and maintenance teams on the football stadium. If has anybody been to the football stadium to do anything but set a Friday night football game? You can, yeah, I have to race. You can run stadiums, but it is very low use in the Camden County Public Service Authority realm. You know what I'm saying? But it is high on maintenance, and it is. So we're very much in favor of, as one board member, transferring that over to the Board of Education. They're in conversation also. The baseball fields are owned by that, but we use the other fields on the far end. One of my granddaughters played the other day on the far end, so they're there. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Being a grandparent who's had kids involved in all of what you said except soccer, and have too many people play soccer. So, and we have, as you said, a number of young people involved and engaged in sports around the county.
Right.
But there's still some left out. One reason being many families have multiple kids who are playing and want to play, but can't afford.
Yes, sir.
For all of them. What is the plan, or what will be the plan for PSA to somehow subsidize or scholarship, for lack of a better term,
Well,
some of these young people to be able to participate in all
Okay.
of the recreation? We need all of them involved.
I'm glad in the room today we had consensus and understanding that we don't need to turn kids away. That's number one. We don't need to turn kids away. I think we have to work hard. We do have a scholarship program in place right now that actually will scholarship some out. Yes, sir.
We subsidize a lot of these activities for the kids. We do not charge what it costs to run the program. So you have to understand that we try hard not to turn anybody away for any reason, including cost. I would say 80% of our recreation programs are subsidized by the PSA.
If there are athletics type programs out there, the kids are those football helmets for the kids, $185 a piece. Yes, ma'am.
One of the things I wanted to mention earlier about the announcing is Saturday at your PSA track, you have a diabetes walk starting at 10 as well.
Oh, you're right.
And so I wanted to make sure that was out there for those that can't ride bikes.
Right. Good.
And to your point about turning kids away, I know you have had a lot of kids who are athletes, because I've had athletes who would get turned away if they didn't have the $5 a day entry fee.
Yeah.
Which turns them away and sometimes that's where they're coming for after school to try and practice and things like that.
Right.
If their coach isn't there that day, but they need extra help with a skill or something. So is there something that can be done to help not turn those children away for that instance?
Please.
And lastly, as far as not being able to get to some of these facilities, is there any initiative that we can help maybe PSA encourage our local municipalities to install sidewalks.
Yeah, from the
Because if
neighborhood,
we could-
from the
the
neighborhood to
reason
the
we
park.
have to drive is because of the
Yeah.
lack of sidewalks.
There's a lack of sidewalks, lack of trails, greenways. Please, on that sheet, put down that, just put down $5 question. I'll know what it is, okay? And I'll make sure I know what you're talking about, where they go from the high school. If you guys don't know that, when the high school lets out, basically they come to the PSA, a lot of after school activities there. Yes, sir.
The question I have is, how well receptive is the Board of Commissioners for funding, for increasing, because seeing all these things you need to do to improve Parks and Recreation, how receptive is the Board of Commissioners for funding these projects?
So here's I'm gonna touch that one lightly, okay? Because I like our county commission, but I'm gonna touch them lightly. So I hope you recognize that I see, and Steve and June here, we see the everyday need in Parks and Recreation important. So we see that also. I'd love to be in communication with the county commissioners. As a matter of fact, at 8 o'clock this morning, I looked at my phone and I had to swipe it because it was a county commissioner calling. I said, I need to kind of focus on something else this morning, but I'll call him back later. I like that conversation. I like that. Here's, I'm gonna say this one. We have to be in lockstep with each other, not opposed with each other. And I don't think we're not magnetically opposed. It's sometimes they may have something on their agenda that we don't know about, and we have something on our agenda they don't know about. So we've got to have more communication, more lockstep. I'll give you an example. We're opening up a new boat ramp up at Honey Creek. And you guys know that? You didn't know that? Honey Creek, okay? Had to purchase some property up on Honey Creek. It's not done yet. It's going to be a while, but DNR is going to build it. PSA will be part of our management scheme, but it's there. The county had to be involved in it, and we were all at the table together, all talking about it, including the owners, the Honey Creek Episcopal Church owners were there, decision makers. That's the way it should be done. It should be, and then we can all look at the pluses and minuses. We needed to have locations because that is a deep water access for large boat traffic to turn around. And there's not a turnaround road up there. And the parking lot was not adequate. And the runoff was going to be high. So, but it was good because those kind of projects were at the table early. It was a need, recognized it, moved forward with it. So, and the DNR was the one going to pay for it. That's the fun thing. Is it a perfect answer? No. But if they've got if they got a project thinking about and they haven't communicated with us, we may have a higher priority project, or we may have a similar type project, and we can then have possibly, I'll give you an example of this, Laurel Island Parkway. That trail was not on Laurel Island Parkway originally. It was a 4-lane road going across the interstate with no caution light at Winding Road, no red light at Winding Road, screaming through there, had no facilities whatsoever. But by just going in there, being part of the conversation, making sure people understood the need, they put it inside the plans, and now we have that's an incredible trail. If you haven't been on it, it's incredible. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
We lost our public pool in St. Mary's. And when I moved here 35 years ago, we lived in the downtown area, and my kids were in 5th and 6th grade, and they walked every day down to the pool and went swimming. And that is no longer possible. Yeah. A lot of families I've heard can't afford the aquatic center. And so really the only place for them to go swimming is all the way up at the PSA building. And is there any plans to build pools and splash pads? I saw where in the news Jacksonville is making a concentrated effort with all of our global warming, and we're this summer it was just so ungodly heat. Yeah. We need something like that. Plus the kids being able to learn to swim. My daughter took her life-saving lifeguard course there at the St. Mary's pool, and all those things have disappeared.
All right, so I won't go a ton of history back on the St. Mary's City pool, but that pool was 70 years old, something like that. It was life service. That pool was way downhill. We had no adequate ADA restrooms. We had no adequate facilities there. It was shut down during COVID, the state of Georgia, and then it couldn't meet the minimum flow requirements. When we tried to bring it back into service, we've spent I mean, and I've got the whole report on it, and it's something crazy around $1 million to get that pool up, and it just wasn't the best for that. So the history of that, we've got to relocate. So remember the picture up there with the aquatic team? I don't think we should build an aquatic center if it cannot support, everyday swimming or everyday practice. And so same thing. We should be able to replicate those things also. We should be able to handle a practice team, a competitive team. We should be able to handle somebody taking a lifeguard lesson, taking the first swimming lesson, all the way down to the first toddler. Yes, it should be there. The aquatic center is a fun place, a splash pad, a lazy river. That's not swimming. That's just a place to go enjoy. I truly believe we need to have that replacement for that. And we've got it in the plan, but not in the location you want. I guarantee you that. So we've had to relook at that also. But we have it. It's one of those needs that we know is there and know there's a high desire for it. We're going to try to accommodate that. I don't have once again, we had to go step 1, step 2.
Cut it off now. If there are other questions, come back to me. Thank you all so much.